I got something for you, okay? I'm gonna go pee again. We got something great. Sam Cedar debates another libertarian. Libertarian takes Sam Cedar to Coconut Island. Let's go.
This is Dan Norton from California.
Dan Norton.
Dan from California. What's on your mind?
Yeah, we talked a few weeks ago about objectivism. I don't know if you know that call.
Okay.
Yes, we know that call.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Oh, you're the guy who has the fertility issues.
I think that, sure.
Okay. You broke up a little bit there.
So let's see. Since the last show, where to start?
Well, why don't you pick the most important thing you wanted to talk about?
Most important? Okay. I guess the island example we were talking about. I'd like to go back to that.
Okay, refresh my memory now.
Okay, so I asked, it was about the issue of coercion. So if you're alone on an island, the first question is, if you're alone on an island, do you need to work to survive? And I got an answer to that from you and from Matt.
What did I say?
But I didn't hear Emma.
Well, wait.
You eventually...
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, forget Emma. Like, we don't need to. I don't need to take a tour of like Bradley and Emma, and then maybe we can ask
we go in the hallway,
guys working in the building and this and that. I mean, okay. So, what's your point? You're going to make a point. It's not about taking a survey.
I thought there might have been some disagreement. That's why I was raising this, because Emma was the one who was bringing up the issue of coercion the most.
He's dragging Emma in.
Yes.
I thought it would be.
But
what's the point you want to make, though? What's the point you want to make?
Make the damn point.
Know what you think is and isn't coercion, ultimately. Because I think that's the root of the disagreements. At least one root.
All right, well, give me an example, and I'll tell you if I think it's coercive.
Okay, well, maybe we can... Do you know Vosh's Coconut Island example?
No.
Vosh?
Okay, it's kind of vulgar, so maybe I'll give a version of it.
Well, or not. How about you come up with another example? How's that?
Okay, maybe I can debate that with him sometime if he wants. But
yeah.
So let's just say that there are two people on an island.
Okay.
And at first they don't know about each other. Like, imagine the one is on each side of the island.
Okay.
Split in half, and they don't. Okay, so each one is surviving by himself at first. And at that stage, you would say, is it correct that you would say neither is being coerced?
Neither man, right?
Neither man is being coerced. I mean, if they're not in any way aware of each other, so they can't be coercing each other. And there's I don't know what other dynamic exists, but
I think they could be like inadvertently or unknowingly coercing each other, or like putting them in or like, yeah, he's already botching. Yeah, he's already destroying it. He's already destroying the analogy. Like, he's like, do you know Vosh's Coconut Island example? No, it's vulgar, so I may not come up with a new one. Okay, and what about the Coconut Island one? But I'll just say it again, but like worse.
Assuming there's nobody else on the island, right? They're not being coerced.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. They could be like inadvertently coercing each other in the way that, like, if one takes coconuts from a place where another one was going to get coconuts, and then like they realize that there is no coconuts because it was taken, it coerces them to now have to go somewhere else for food, something along those lines, right? So they can be like doing something but not knowing each other is there. I'm not sure if coercion necessarily implies intent, or coercion, you need intent for coercion or something, but yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so there's no coercion if they're just by themselves in nature acting. Okay, now suppose that they discover each other, or one discovers the other, and they start trading with each other. Like, one guy says, all right, I'll do the fishing, and you work on building the shelter.
You work on building the shelter.
And so forth.
Okay.
Yeah, is there any coercion at that point?
I mean, in the way that you just described it, no.
Okay, so simply trading is not coercive. All right, so now suppose that one is much better at catching fish. So maybe one can catch like 10 times.
Wait, I thought you said that one is building the shelter and one's catching fish.
That was the end of the second example.
Kerry ruined it.
Making modifications to examples.
Okay, so now they're both fishing. They're both fishing.
Yeah, they're both fishing independently. They're not trading.
He's struggling.
Now.
Okay,
but one is much better at catching fish.
But neither one of them knows this, right? Because they're not talking to each other. They don't know that they exist.
Right.
Okay.
So if one catches way more fish than the other, 10 times more fish.
10 times more fish.
There's still no.
They don't know that each other exists. So
we already went through
there's
this.
no coercion because they don't even know that each other exists. They can't be coercing each other.
Right. Okay. So there's massive wealth inequality, but there's no coercion yet because they're not even interacting.
Right.
Now.
Okay.
Okay. Now, suppose they discover each other.
Oh, hey,
One
okay.
continues. Okay. So one continues to be able to catch way more fish.
So is he just going to? Why has he thought about this? Has he thought this over? Because he's been saying that he's going to be saying the same thing twice. Like, I'm going to take a guess here, is what he's going to say is basically the same thing again, but like they're just trading again. This is definitely hard to explain when you're on the phone. Like, I would imagine if you're going to call into a show in order to debate one of the show hosts, that you would at least get your like ducks in a row before you start talking. You know what I mean? You would have like whiteboarded this out. You would have like, storyboarded this for them. You have a narrative for them to chew over. Just something. It really feels like he's just coming up with this on the fly. I really think he was like, I don't like when Vosh uses Coconut Island. I'm going to call into Sam Cedar and ask if he knows Coconut Island. And then he didn't, and he was like, damn, I didn't think I was going to get this far. And now he's trying to make up shit on the fly to make it all work. That's what it sounds like to me. The way he's describing it and how it's not really like coming together and making sense. That's what it sounds like. Now, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, honestly, that's worse on him because that means he's stupid.
Then the other one.
Right.
Is there coercion now?
Is one of them trying to get the other to do something?
Okay, well, let's say the one who can catch way more fish says, hey, I'll give you some of my fish if you do this other thing for me, like, let's say, work on building the shelter.
How desperately does this other person need fish?
Let's say, he's as desperate as he was before they met.
So he can't even fish for any
situation.
So he can feed himself.
His situation.
He can feed himself. He has fish. He's surviving.
Yeah, let's suppose he can eke out a meager existence on his own.
Well, he's not starving.
Better.
He's not starving.
Yeah, let's say he just gets barely enough nutrition to survive and not die. He can survive much better if he trades.
Wait, just to survive and not die? So if he's like on the cusp of surviving, and so like his poor fishing skills could lead to him like starving, then yeah, that means that he would have to supplement. If he really feels the need to like supplement with like someone else to get something and he needs to do something for them, then yeah, that would literally be coercion. Yeah. Listen, if you can like barely breathe, okay? If you have like, I don't know, let's say you're like not good at swimming. You can swim well enough to keep yourself from barely drowning and dying, okay? Like you're gasping water every now and again, but mostly you're fine. And then someone's like, I'll pull you out of the water if you suck my dick. Like, then you're like, well, yeah, this is probably coercive. Yeah, he should have just stuck with like, suck my dick. All right. He could have changed it for like children, like give me a really, really creepy, sensual belly rub or something, just something. You don't have to like go with like drink my cum, it could be something else. I don't know why he decided to go on a completely different path.
With the other person and he.
Well, wait a second. Does he have the strength to do to build the shelter?
If he accepts the deal.
Oh, so he doesn't have the strength to build a shelter. He has no shelter.
No, if he accepts the deal and he says, yes, I'll take some of your fish because you're so good at catching fish.
No, he's not going to take fish because the guy's so good at catching fish. He takes fish because, like, I'm starving. Like, I need fish. Does he need fish? Yes or no?
He needs more fish if he's going to be able to build a shelter. Let's say that.
He needs more fish to survive because you need shelter to survive.
No, not necessarily.
What do you mean, not necessarily? Who is this guy? Has he ever watched Man vs. Wild? I gotta tell you, okay, I watch a lot of Bear Grylls' Man vs. Wild. One of the big things that he said, clean water, food, shelter, fire, okay? It's up there. It's one of the 4 elements of surviving out in the wilderness. You need shelter. You can't not have shelter. What are you talking about? You don't need, he doesn't need shelter to survive. What are you talking about, you madman? Yeah, you do. This guy calls in like every other week. Wait, does he have the same exact song and dance like every single time? He's like trying his best to get a 1-up on Sam and they just like slap him around until he leaves the call. Yeah, Tarzan. Yeah, obviously he could just swing from the branches like Tarzan, and he can make shelter in the trees.
If it's nice weather out on a beach or something.
Okay, so he's got enough food. And he's living
Dan,
life,
right? Yeah, I think he said Dan. What are we, 646?
Hey, Sam, this is Dan Norton from California.
Yeah, this is Dan. Wait, is he a normal caller? Like, all right, guys, let's see if Dan's gonna call in. Oh my gosh, that's him. That's the guy. That's the guy. I haven't been able to tune into the Majority Report recently, but yeah.
Food, and he's living life, and he's okay.
No, he's on the edge of dying.
Oh wait, so he's on the edge of dying. He's on the edge.
Wait, whatever happened to he's okay? He can make it. He can make it, and then he goes from he can make it to on the edge of dying. Honestly, this reveals a lot about the libertarian framework. Okay, on the edge of dying, completely interchangeable to these people. Okay,
dying.
When he's fighting.
Okay, so if he's on the edge of dying, and the other guy says, "I'll give you fish," in other words, I will save your life if you do this for me.
Better.
No, you just said he's on the edge of dying.
Yeah, you keep trying to have it both ways on this knife edge.
Let me ask you this, Dan. Let me give you a scenario. You and I are hiking, okay? Because you and I like to hike, and we're hanging out, and you get near an edge of a cliff, and the dirt gives way, and you're hanging on to a branch.
no,
Okay, you're alive, but it's tenuous, and I'm the only way that you're going to get saved. And I go, Dan, give me your hand. But wait a second, before you give me your hand, do you have any money on you? And you say, yeah, I always travel with traveler's checks. I got hundreds of dollars of traveler's checks. And I'm like, well, Dan, I'll tell you what. If you give me those traveler's checks and sign them over to me, and I just assume you travel with traveler's checks. Maybe it's cash. And you give me that, I will save your life. Is that coercive of me?
My first thought is...
You don't got much time, Dan, because that branch is starting to give way,
thinking.
bud.
No, I think you would be a terrible person for making that offer, but...
It's not coercive.
No, I don't think it would...
It's not coercive.
that's not coercive. Put this man on a federal watch list. Put this man on a federal watch list as soon as possible. This man needs to be... You need to keep tabs on this guy. Giving someone money, and if you don't, they're going to fall into a pit and die. And you asking for money from them is not coercive. You, sir, need to be put on a federal watch list. I'm making the same face that Sam is right now. That's insane. Never go hiking with dude. Never do anything with Dan, bro. Never do anything with Dan. It's not coercive. What is coercion? That seems like the textbook. Like Sam gave him the textbook definition of coercion. What is coercion to him? What is coercion? That's what I want to know. I hope Dan calls in and answers that question. What does the word coercion mean?
I think so.
You don't think so?
I think it would just be corrupt.
It would be corrupt. Corrupt.
Yeah.
What do you mean corrupt?
Yeah.
Why corrupt?
It'd be mean.
Because
It'd
you're
be
treating a human being
head.
just terribly.
What do you mean I'm treating you terribly? I'm just making an arrangement with you. I'm giving you an opportunity. You have cash on you. It's just an exchange.
An exchange between two free-thinking
Yeah, what's
individuals.
Just trade.
Yeah, listen, it's voluntary trade. It's voluntary trade. What are you talking about? Don't you guys love voluntary trade? Don't you guys love consent? I know I love consent and voluntary trade, personally. I love things being voluntary. So very voluntary indeed. Yeah, long live the king.
It's trade.
It's a rotten kind of trade.
What do you mean it's a rotten
stinky.
kind of trade? What makes it rotten, Dan?
You want to deprive someone of all his money? Just
What do you mean deprive you of your money? It's just your choice. Do you want your money or do you want the help?
Is it worth it to you or not?
Yeah, it's just a trade.
You said he was like giving away all his money and all his.
No, you, Dan. Dan, I'm saying to you, do you want to give me your money and I'll help you or not? Like I'm going to trade my labor in helping you, saving your life, and for your money. It's just a trade. What's so corrupt about that? What makes it corrupt?
What's so corrupt about taking away someone's life savings?
Wait. I didn't say life savings. Just one in your pocket. If
Traveler's checks in your pocket.
It's up to you. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not coercing you, am I?
Obviously, if it's a trivial amount, or even if it's
No, let's say okay. Wait. So what makes it corrupt? Okay, wait. So what makes it corrupt though? I think 'cause we're getting to it, Dan, because corrupt's not the right word, right? What's the word that is? What is? There's some
C word.
dynamic between us that you feel is wrong for me to take advantage of this.
The background cackling. This is what made Majority Report. You know what I mean? I kind of wish I had a studio like Sam. You know. Because if I was in a studio like this, I would be the person. I'd be taking the Michael Brooks place where you just like cut the camera and then I'll just be like cackling like a hyena while Sam's talking. I wish, man. Like that's what makes Majority Report. I'm so glad they still have someone cackling in the studio, because that's what makes Majority Report. That's what does it for me. Like the show's great in and of itself, but the background cackling while a call's going on, that's what I remember Majority Report for. You know what I mean? That's it. He doesn't understand that he's memeing. The thing is, Sam's memeing, but it's like a true meme too. Like, this guy is literally arguing against his own point, and I'm not even sure if he understands it. I'll come over and shit talk the guest if you want, as long as you're like cackling, just like barely audibly in the background, like between people talking, you can just hear like snickering and tittering. That's what I'm all about. I love that shit. I love it so much. With just the boys in the call. Yeah, I kind of want to do this sometime. Like, I'll be that person. If someone wants to have me on stream during like a debate and turn me down to like 10% and I can just be there cackling the entire time, I'll take up that route. I'll take that up. I want that. I love that personally. I love it. It's so good.
What am I taking advantage of?
My unfortunate situation.
Your situation is such that I am using leverage to your disadvantaged situation to my benefit. There's another word for that, Dan.
What is that?
It starts with a C.
It is though, bro.
It's not corrupt.
Why isn't it?
Nope.
Why isn't it coercion?
Coercion is like a physical kind of threat that you are imposing on someone. It's not.
Whoa.
That's not
Coercion's only
Physical threat? What is coercion? Only when I'm like, give me your money, and you're like, no, but then I get a big stick and I'm like, give me your money. What? That's assault, dude. Yeah, that's another word. That's called assault. That's called assault and battery. Yeah, that's not like like you can take advantage of, you can coerce someone even when you can coerce, like this seems like baby level English. You can coerce someone even if you have not battery yet. You're getting close. You're threatening someone with battery. Yeah, that's a mugging, bro. You're talking about a mugging. No, like there's more coercion than just a mugging. Like it's just so wacky to me how this is like baby's first understanding of coercion. Like, you can coerce someone even if you have no fault in the situation that you're abusing them for. You don't have to put them in the situation to be the one like abusing the situation. That's not how that works. Hey, bud, listen, I know you want to stay away from the dick sucking, but have you ever like been on Pornhub or X videos or something? You ever see those like porn titles that's like, I got stuck in the washing machine?
physical. You don't think your life and limb? Like, well, it's got to be physical. So your life hangs in the balance.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
what would you call it?
Well, you didn't.
What do you call non-physical? If this is non-physical, what do you call it? What is that dynamic? What's it called when you leverage someone's disadvantaged situation for your benefit?
You could call it exploitation.
It's exploitive.
Oh.
That seems so I'm exploiting your
we've reached
situation. But what am I doing? What's the dynamic between us?
Exploitation.
You can't admit it.
It's exploitation.
Honestly, you don't need to go any further. He already said the word exploitation. So, I mean, we can use the word coercion, but he just said exploitation, did he not?
Situation for your benefit.
You could call it exploitation.
You literally don't need to go any further than this. The rest of this is just optics. He already gave up the position. Like, that's in that moment, he's completely given up his position.
It's exploitive.
Oh.
So I'm exploiting your
we've
situation. But what am I doing? What's the dynamic between us?
He can't admit it.
It's exploitation. It's not coercion, though. It's not the same thing.
Okay.
What the fuck is
Bye,
happening?
Dan.
We've
Your
got
branch just broke, bud. I appreciate the call.
once again a libertarian retreats to pedantry. Once again.
Appreciate the call. Okay.
Bye.
That is all our time that we have for a call today. That is the Doppler effect, as you hear Dan going, bah.
I like the idea that like
No, it's not coercion.
it's so funny.
I like
Like
how we made eye contact
This
the
guy's
entire
so-
time.
this guy's so good at fishing. It's not that he found some like magic fishing hole or can't. Why wouldn't he teach the other guy to fish? Remember that old adage? You teach a man or give a man a fish, teach a man to fish. That sort of thing. Of course, it's coercive. If you're on an island and one guy is just getting all these fish and the other guy can't figure out how to feed themselves, and the other guy starts using those fish instead of saying, "Hey, this is how you catch a fish," then that's that person.
What Sam says about the collar. Oh yeah, I did miss that part. Here, well, we can go back a little bit. But yeah, no, this is like, oh geez, why was I so low? Appreciate the call. No, that's how Sam ends all of these, and they're great. I need to start doing that. Appreciate the call. See you later, bud. Take care of yourself, okay? Tell your mom I said hi. But yeah, this guy calls in all the time, right? Didn't Bastiat said it wasn't coercion if a teacher asked for sex in exchange for not failing a student? What's wrong with these people? That's just rape. That's just rape. We have a word for that. And it doesn't start with C, it starts with R. Like, okay, bud. You don't do call. What do you mean I don't do call-ins? I do call-ins. If someone ever comes into chat and is like, I want to call in, like they can do that. I don't have like people like lined up or anything. I have a Discord. If someone has like a crazy disagreement in chat, I say call in. I do call-ins. Like when people like assume I don't do call-ins, I do call-ins. Almost every single debate that I have on my channel is a call-in. Yeah, coercion is when a leftist streamer in chat. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, there's a call. Wait, no, there's one where you can call in and ask a question. But you know what? Maybe I should reduce. Well, here's the thing. Like I reduced it because I didn't want people to just like spam call in and then be like, Shark, have you ever listened to the song Baby Shark? And then leave. Like I didn't like that's just like the only reason why I put it so high. But honestly, if someone wants to be like, can I call in? Well, I'll be like, sure. Especially if they're stupid enough. That's good content.
Person coercing the other.
You're
person.
leveraging someone's hunger.
Starvation. Literally the basic thing.
Is that not physical? Also, I don't understand how hanging from a branch and needing a hand up and then potentially falling to your death is not quite literally the definition of it.
Spiritually, too, it's also not so good for you.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get to the walkers tomorrow.
Here's a Joseph Townsend again, a dozen years before Reverend Malthus was writing about similar things. Hunger will tame the fiercest animals. It will teach decency and civility, obedience and subjection to the most perverse. In general, it is only hunger which can spur and goad the poor onto labor.
That's weird.
Coercion or no? I don't know.
No,
take issue with Townsend over there.
We can get to the walkers tomorrow because my understanding.
I didn't hear Emma.
Yes.
You know that call. We talked a few weeks ago about objectivism. I don't know if you know that call.
Okay.
Yes, we know that call.
Okay.
Oh, you're the guy who has the fertility issues.
I think that's true.
Okay.
Is that how Sam remembers him? Oh yeah, you're the guy with the fertility issues. Damn. Imagine that's how you get remembered. Someone's gonna call in about nodding in the Omegaverse. Oh, don't worry. If they call in about that, that's the last time they call in. Don't worry about it. You got that weak juice?
So let's see. There's a lot I wanted to talk about since the last show.
Damn, Sam's face. He's like, there's a lot I wanted to talk about, and Sam's like, fuck. What? Dan, I can't. The line cutting. Line you're breaking up. Oh, bye.